What's up, guys? Just here back to my channel. Tonight, I'll be doing a review for AW Collision that just finished a couple minutes ago. So let's get to it then. With the first match, the Red R Superstar Colt versus the Redwood Big Bill. ROH World Champion Chris Jericho joined the commentary team for this match. Big Bill backed Cope into the corner with a hard shove, shoving off his string. Cope hit a drop toe hold on the outside and then ran Big Bill into the barricade. Cope went for a spear, but Big Bill dodged it and then blew Cope in the head. Cope is exactly where I knew he'd be, flat on his back, said Jericho. Big Bill hoisted up Cope and then dropped him on top of the barricade back in the ring. Big Bill worked on Cope's neck, dominating that match. Cope rallied back, fighting to his feet. Cope asserted himself, chopping down the Redwood. Cope bashed Big Bill with knee strikes. I'm sorry, and then a vicious northern lariat to the back of the neck. You're going to need a lot more to keep the Redwood down," said Jericho. Big Bill caught Cope and flattened him with the Bossman slam for a near fall. Jericho got the apron and distracted the ref so Big Bill could remove the top turnbuckle pad, exposing the metal. Cope hit Big Bill's head on the exposed turnbuckle and followed up with a running powerbomb for a near fall on Big Bill. Big Bill jumped out of the way of a spear, and Cope's momentum sent Cope into the exposed turnbuckle. Big Bill cracked Cope with the boot into the head. Cope countered with a chokeslam with an impaler. Cope speared Big Bill and covered him, but Big Bill kicked out at the 2 count. How close was that, Chivani? That was very close. Man, that's crazy. Anyways, Cope moved the ref out of the way so he could nail Big Bill with an undetected low blow. I thought he was going to get disqualified for pushing the ref. I don't know. Anyways, Cope applied a bulldog choke to Big Bill and won via ref stoppage. Chris Jericho on the bad apple. Brian Keith jumped in the ring to tackle Cope. FTR, Dax, and Cash sprinted to the ring, even up the odds for Cope. Things broke down into a pair 6 brawl. This is out of control, said Tony Giovanni. So winner is Cope. All right. Heyman AM Page has some harsher words for the fallen Christopher Daniels and stuff. So yeah, Heyman said, I have I have worked so hard in pro wrestling to protect my family from the eyes that fame can bring, and it was torn away in one night. I ashamed to look at my family and my wife and my family. I knew I had to make a decision. After a while, I could remain the husk of a man I become or do something about it. So I found Swerve Strickland in September. I all but spilled his brains in front of the world. I know what you're trying to say to me, Christopher Daniels. I humored you for too long because of who you were. And when I met you 14 years ago, I was just a kid. You were the first wrestler who told me I could do something. But I listened for too long. And last Saturday, you crossed the line when you laid hands on me. And for that, you will pay a price. Saturday on Collision, Maximum Carnage, Christopher Daniels. I will see you in a Texas death match. I have decided who I will be, and I will wake up every morning and make that same decision. I would rather maim than be the man I was last year. CD, you have made your bed, and next Saturday I'll lay you down in it forever. All right, second match coming up. AEW World Trios Champion, the Bastard Pack versus ROH World Champion, World TV Champion, Commander with Alexander Brandes. Pack is a perfect 10 and 0 on Collision, said Nigel. Commander tried for a monkey flip, but Pack landed on his feet. Commander flipped over the top rope and took down Pack. Commander did the spaceman walk on the top rope and then jumped onto Pack. Commander followed up with a crossbody press for a near fall on Pack. Pack on the back foot. I'm sorry, but that is where he is most dangerous," said Nigel. Pack whipped Commander into the barricade. Pack began to stomp on Commander. Pack smashed the face of Commander with a running pump kick. Pack grabbed Alexander Brandes and began to assault him, but Commander saw enough and jumped off the top rope, moonsaulting Pack. Commander delivered a cutter to Pack. Commander spiked Pack with the DET for a near fall. He really stuck that DET, but Commander has to step to keep pushing forward, said Nigel. Pat was playing possum and moved out of the way of Commander, forcing Commander to crash and burn. Commander fired back with the poison Rana. Commander climbed up top and went for a 450 splash, but Pat countered by raising his knees into Commander's ribs. Pat applied the brutalizer and forced Commander to tap out. Pac has now won 17 of his 20 matches at Shivani. After match, Pacquiao Yuta held back Commander while Claudio got in the ring and punched Commander. The Outrunners sprinted to the ring and began to brawl with Yuta and Wheeler. Sorry, so winner is Pac. Alright, next match right away. AEW World Trios Champions, the Death Riders, Rhea Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli versus the Outrunners, to Magnum Turbo Floyd. Rhea Yuta chopped at Truth, but Truth retaliated with chops of his own. Turbo tagged in, and the Outrunners used tandem team offense on Wheeler. Claudio blindsided Turbo with a lariat as the ref had his back turned. Claudio squashed Turbo's rib cage with a double foot stomp. Claudio wrecked Turbo and with rear pin uppercuts. Turbo countered with a death press and then grounded and pounded Claudio. The Outrunners hit double clothesline, knocking the Death Riders over the top rope and to the arena floor. Turbo turned up the heat and fists of fire on Wheeler. Turbo body slammed Truth onto Wheeler. The Outrunners nailed Wheeler with a double bicep elbow. They set up for the toe recall, but Claudio prevented it with a late trip. Claudio put Turbo in a giant swing, and Yuta drop kicked Turbo. Claudio attempted a superplex Turbo, but Turbo blocked it. Uh, Claudio distracted the ref long enough for Wheeler to distract Turbo. Claudio hit a gut wrench powerplex, and then the Death Riders finished off Turbo with the rocket launcher, allowing Wheeler Yuta to steal the pin. You can't outrun the Death Riders, said Nigel. So winners are Claudio and Wheeler Yuta. Alright, Powerhouse Hobbs has there's a video package. So Powerhouse Hobbs says, Mox, I've been listening since the beginning. Everything you want is in front of you. You want it people to stand up and take initiative. I stood up to you and you tucked tail this Wednesday on Dynamite Maximum Carnage. There's nothing you can do to me, and I'm going to make you my bitch. Alright, next match coming up, AEW Women's World Champion, the Glamour Mariah May versus Hardy Cameron. Alright, Hardy tried for a quick roll up on the champ, but couldn't get a count out of it. Mariah headbutted Harley. Mariah chopped Harley. The challenger retaliated with a running lariat and then followed up with the Russian leg sweep. Mariah May brought down Hardy with a pair of head scissors. Harley escaped and attempted ripcord from Mariah May. The fans chanted for Harley, rallying her on. Harley hammered Mariah with vicious forearm shots. Harley splashed Mariah in the corner. Harley dropped Champion with a pump handle pickup slam for a near fall. Mariah cracked Harley with a knee to the noggin. Mariah spiked Harley with the Storm Zero and then pinned Harley. Fantastic match, Nigel. You have to admit that, said Tony Giovanni. Alright, so winner is the Glamour Mariah May. Alright, Christopher Daniels had something to say and stuff. Daniels said, I was trying to be a friend to you. I saw you through the worst year and a half in your life. I saw the fans turn their back on you, and you always responded to me with advice. You asked me what I've done in pro wrestling. That hurt. Apparently, it's time for a history lesson. I've wrestled all around the world and helped build two pro wrestling companies from the ground up. Maybe 2024 wasn't best in ring gear of my career. I'm not an EVP anymore. I'm just a man tired of being disrespected at Maximum Carnage. Maybe I'll add beating your ass to the list of my accomplishments. Alright, next match coming up, the House of Blacks, Brody King with Julia Hart versus Trevor Blackwell. Brody dropped Trevor with a single chop. Brody tossed Blackwell across the ring like a child. Julia wagged her finger at Trevor. Brody blasted Blackwell with a running lariat and followed up with the cannonball in the corner. Brody finished off Blackwell with the Gonzo bomb and picked up the 1-2-3. So winner is Brody King. Alright, Lexington backstage with Brody King and stuff. Brody said, right now it's a real confusing time for the House of Black and myself. Cope walked onto the scene and interrupted. Cope said, we've been through a lot, but I hope you know at the end of it, I respect you, Julia, and Buddy, I know what you bring to the table. Brody, I want us to be a group, but it's time for you to make the reins and run. That's true, though. They are good, though. Don't get me wrong. Alright, next match coming up, TNT Championship match, Dan Garcia versus the wrestler Kazori Shibata. Dan Magic Matt Menard joined the broadcast booth for this match, as always. Shibata and Garcia traded chops. Garcia had enough of it and applied a headlock. Shibata walloped Garcia with another chop, knocking Garcia off his feet. Shibata walked through Danny's chops. Shibata got ahead of steam and then dropkicked Dan Garcia in the corner. Shibata wiped out Garcia with a double underhook butterfly suplex good for a 2 count. Garcia finally sent Shibata down with a lariat. Garcia rocked Shibata with a swinging net breaker. Shibata cradled Danny for a near fall out of nowhere. Shibata booted Garcia in the face and followed up with a suplex. Shibata wiped out Garcia with a late trip takedown. They exchanged chops again. Shibata grapevine the leg. Garcia countered with a dragon screw leg whip. Garcia locked on the dragon tamer in the center of the ring, but Shibata escaped and applied the wheel by a heel hook. Shibata transitioned to a figure four. Garcia grabbed the bottom rope, forcing the break. Garcia ducked a PK. Shibata walked Garcia with the drop. Garcia grabbed a jackknife pin out of nowhere and pinned Shibata. This may be a title-defining win for Garcia, said Schiavone. What a match. Part of me feels like we got away with one here after the week Garcia's had at it, Matt Menard. Alright, main event. Coming up, FTR's Dax Harwood versus ROH World Champion, the Nueve Chris Jericho. Because of what happened during tonight's opening match, Tony Khan barred everyone from ringside. Dax and Jericho hooked up in a collar, elbow, and tied up and shoved one another right out of the ring. Neither man refused to let go of the grip. They got back into the ring and locked up again. Jericho chopped Dax. A battle of wills here, said Schiavone. Dax drilled Jericho with a dragon screw leg whip. Dax grabbed Jericho by the legs, but Jericho pulled back and forced Dax to hit the ring post with his head. Dax retaliated with a brainbuster on Jericho for a near fall. Jericho brought Dax down with a hurricanrana. Jericho nailed Dax with a two shoulder tackles. Jericho connected with a crossbody from the top rope. Dax rocked Jericho with two consecutive German suplexes. Jericho rolled forward on the third attempt and catapulted Harwood into the top turnbuckle. Jericho landed the lionsault and covered Dax, but Dax kicked out at the 2 count. Dax got rolled up for a near fall after Jericho kicked Dax into a steel ring post. Dax superplexed Jericho into the ring. Chris Jericho cracked Dax with a code breaker on the arena floor. Dax jumped back into the ring at the count of 9. Jericho swung his ROH World title at Dax, but Dax ducked Jericho, poked the ref in the eye, and whacked Dax with the belt and covered him. But Dax kicked out. Jericho dished out the Judas Effect and picked up the victory over Dax. Big Bill and Brian Keith came down after the match to stomp on the down Dax. Cope and Cash Wheeler ran down to even up the odds for Dax. The Death Riders hit the ring next. The Outriders sprinted to the ring and duked it out with the Death Riders. It was total bedlam. Cope speared Pac. Moxley got into the ring from behind and spiked Cope with a DT, striking like a coiled cobra. Marina Shafir placed a steel chair under Cope's head. Mox was about to waffle Cope with a steel chair sandwich when Powerhouse Hobbs came down to the ring. Hobbs knocked the chair out of Mox's hand, and Mox retreated. Hobbs hurled Weird Yuta through the announcer's desk as Moxley watched on in disbelief. Now that was crazy right there. So it was a good show tonight. So it was alright, not too bad, but I don't know. There were some good matches on there too. Well, a little bit, but yeah. Anyways, that's all the time we have and stuff. So that was it for this video. Hope you like and stuff, not whatever. So like, subscribe, hit the bell button, leave a comment. If you guys want to leave a comment, I don't care what you guys do. And that was it. And see you guys in next video. Laters.